Welcome back to this new inspirational video. Today I wanted to go on with chapter 9 from the book The Science of Being Great, called Identification. What we're talking about in this chapter is the ability and actually the work of us identifying ourselves with the spirit of life, also known as God. The benefit of such identification is that whenever you face an obstacle or any inharmony in your life, you know you should look to a bigger, broader perspective that the spirit of life can offer you in order to overcome them. So by identifying yourself and your unity with God, with the spirit of life, you actually generate more and more power to overcome anything that is negative in your life. And it's once we cut ourselves off from this oneness, this unity, once we see ourselves as a limited, fragile, tiny human being, so to speak, well then we're always going to have issues. Then our troubles might seem so large that they become insurmountable to us, even though there's a much greater power that can help set us free from all of it. So Wallace started out this chapter by saying the following: having recognized God as the advancing presence in nature, society, and your fellow man, and harmonized yourself with all these, and having consecrated yourself to that within you which impels you toward the greatest and the highest, the next step is to become aware of and recognize fully the fact that the principle of power within you is God Himself. You must consciously identify yourself with the highest. This is not some false or untrue position to be assumed. It is a fact to be recognized. You are already one with God. You want to become consciously aware of it. There's one substance, the source of all things, and this substance has within itself the power that creates all things. All power is inherent in it. This substance is conscious and thinks. It works with perfect understanding and intelligence. You know that this is so, because you know that substance exists and that consciousness exists, and that it must be substance that is conscious. Man is conscious and thinks. You are substance. You must have substance, else you are nothing and do not exist at all. If man is substance and thinks and is conscious, then he is conscious substance. It is not conceivable that there should be more than one conscious substance. So man is the original substance, the source of all life and power, embodied in physical form. Man cannot be something different from God. Intelligence is one and the same everywhere, and must be everywhere an attribute of the same substance. There cannot be one kind of intelligence in God and another kind of intelligence in man. Intelligence can only be intelligent substance, and intelligent substance is God. Man is one and the same stuff with God, and so all the talents, powers, and possibilities that are in God are in man, not just in a few exceptional men, but in everyone. So that means also in you. All power is given to man in heaven and on earth. Is it not written, "You are gods"? The principle of power in man is man himself, and man himself is God. Now before we go on, this is such a fascinating statement he just made. The principle of power in man is man himself, and man himself is God. So the principle of power in you is you yourself. Now this seems so obvious if you actually think about it, but when we go throughout our days and we face an obstacle, it's very rarely that we actually consider that in ourselves is the power to overcome that obstacle we face. Instead, we start bowing down to the obstacle and issues we face, and we think we can't overcome them, or we feel highly worried and stressful over how to do so. So this becomes another beautiful reminder that the power in order to overcome and outgrow is within you. Now what is that power? Of course, we've been talking about this for many times now. It is your ability to think and all that other stuff concerning consciousness. But the realization and identification of you with God is actually very, very important. That is the pinnacle of awareness. Because then you understand that the power behind your salvation is actually the spirit of life itself. The spirit of life itself can give you the power to overcome everything you face. And again, it is within yourself. It is you yourself. Your awareness of being is that power. Now he went on to say that while man is original substance and has within him all power and possibilities, his consciousness is limited. He does not know all that there is to know, and so he is liable to error and mistake. To save himself from these, he must unite his mind to that outside him which he does know. He must become consciously one with God. There is a mind surrounding him on every side, closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet, And in this mind is the memory of all that has ever happened, from the greatest convulsions of nature in prehistoric days to the fall of a sparrow in this present time, and all that is in existence now as well. Held in his mind is the great purpose that is behind all nature, and so it knows what is going to be. Man is surrounded by a mind that knows all there is to know, past, present, and to come. Now again, if we change that word man around with the word you, we could say you are surrounded by a mind that knows all there is to know, past, present, and to come. Now really let that sink in and contemplate for yourself what that means, because it's the truth. We're always surrounded by energy. Everything is energy. Mind is a form of energy as well. Everything you need is already here, basically, if not in form, then in substance. Even though it's not visible to your eyes, you can still connect to it spiritually speaking, and then it becomes manifested into physical form. This is absolutely beautiful once you start to accept this for yourself, that you are surrounded by a mind that knows all there is to know, and it can set you free and it can help you out if you yourself open yourself up to it. Now everything that man has said or done or written is present in that mind. Man is of the same one identical stuff with this mind. He proceeded from it, and he can so identify himself with it that he may know what it knows. My Father is greater than I, said Jesus. I come from him. I and my Father are one. The Spirit shall guide you into all truth. Your identification of yourself with the infinite must be accomplished by conscious recognition on your part. Recognizing it as a fact that there is only God and that all intelligence is in the one substance, you must affirm after the wise. There is only one, and that one is everywhere. I surrender myself to conscious unity with the highest. Not I, but the Father. I will to be one with the Supreme and to lead the divine life. I am one with infinite consciousness. There is but one mind, and I am that mind. I that speak unto you am he. If you have been thorough in the work as outlined in the preceding chapters, if you have attained to the true viewpoint, and if your consecration is complete, you will not find conscious identification hard to attain, and once it is attained, the power you seek is yours, for you have made yourself one with all the power there is. Now that is the end of the chapter, and again a beautiful written piece of literature that is reminding us that the power of identifying ourselves with God to achieve conscious unity with the spirit of life happens by our own decision. It isn't forced upon us. We can have hunches and inspiration to go in that direction, to grow spiritually speaking in that direction, but it is up to us to decide that we're also going to embrace it when it comes to us. So in reality, the spirit of life is always trying to embrace you, but we are not always willing to embrace it. We might say that there is no spirit of life, there's no point to living almost, but there is. Your dreams are always hinting at the reason for you being alive, because by executing those dreams, you are creating and expanding this universe in your own unique ways. This is why it's so important to embrace God within your consciousness and to know this unity, because then you also understand what must be done in order for you to become a great and successful person in your own way, because the spirit of life will be your guide. It will lead you into salvation. And the future chapters are going to become more and more interesting concerning specific goals you might have in order to prove to yourself and demonstrate that these principles really do work, because they're absolutely beautiful. They're always going to tell us that if we use our minds in a certain way, we can manifest whatsoever we want. This is the truth. But it's not always easy to accept it. But we have to keep reminding ourselves about this truth in spite of all the negativity and limitations that might confront us on the physical side of life. That's the point of these videos, to keep reminding myself, my friends, and even you. If I don't know you, I'll still try to remind you of this power as well through these videos, and hopefully they do something for you as well. Now, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to receive inspirational videos on a regular basis. And with that being said, dear viewer, never forget that we are the dreamers.